Welcome back to Red Brook Farm in Scarborough, Maine. It is January 16th, 2010. What we're looking at is an upper 40-degree day. Here, as you can see, there's a little snow on the ground. We've come through a couple weeks of zeros and 5 belows, and today's day 2 of a little bit of a warm snap. And we just came down to the bee yard to see what's going on. Red Brook Farm, redbrookhoney.com. And what we have here are 5 full-size colonies with a couple colonies that have a little extra treatment on them, and I'll talk to you about that. But what we've got, these are full deep to double deep overwintering here in Scarborough, Maine. There's 10 frames of in each of the deeps, and there's 2 deep, so there's 20 frames in each of these. We put them to bed, so to speak, this fall. The bees, actually, as you can see, do not hibernate. They live and they're active year-round, and on days like this they can come out and do a cleansing flight. And what you see here right now, it's in the 40s, but it's been zeros in the evening, and the bees are out doing a cleansing flight, otherwise known as going to the bathroom, because healthy colonies do not defecate in the hive. They do it outside. And so what you'll see is a little bit of activity here. When I get done this, I'm going to open it up and just clear out. What you'll see, this is kind of winter view, and what you have is a little wire mesh, and the little wire mesh is designed to keep the moles out and the mice, because the moles and the mice would love to get into a colony and overwinter on wax and honeycomb and honey and pollen. They'd love it. So what we're doing here this afternoon is just giving it a peek, and as you can see, hive number 2 has the most activity. And what we're looking at here with hive number 2 is pretty vigorous, and what you see all across the landing board is brown specks, and the brown, that's what they defecate, and it's a little bit dark. It'd be really nice if it was bright yellow, but they've been cooped up now for probably 7 weeks or so. They've been cooped up, so there's a little bit of dysentery color when you see the brown like that. I don't know if it shows up here, but you see the darker brown. That's the evidence of some dysentery that's built up in their gut, because they can't go to the bathroom unless they get outside. And so days like this are perfect for them. I wish it wasn't quite so brown. What you see here on this colony, colony number 3, and colony number 3 is actually colony number 3 with 2 colonies on top. What you see here, this is, as you can see, it's 3 layers deep, and 3 layers deep. This is the colony from here down. From here down is the colony, and up in here, what you have is 1 deep, 10 frames, and there's 5 frames on this side and 5 frames on that side. And the entrance is right here for this colony. I don't have a lot of activity, but these are 5-frame nuke colonies, nucleus, small, that are overwintering on top. This opening right here is the top of the main colony, and then there is 2 5-frame nukes on the top here. And so what they're doing is the slight warmth that comes from the lower colony to keep them alive over the winter. And what I got here is they've probably come out and gone back in again, done their flights, and you see the brown droppings, little sign of dysentery here with this colony. Don't know whether it's nosema or not yet, but it is evidence of some dysentery, and getting out and being able to go to the bathroom will be very helpful to them. They're just buzzing around me here. I just got my veil on because I didn't want them to get in my hair. They're just so excited to get out. There's the entrance right there. I don't see any activity on this one. I'm going to pop the lid, maybe give a quick peek on these 2 nukes up top to see how they're doing. I'm not going to stir them up at all. And as you can see, they're just kind of getting some sun. They're just out stretching their legs and their wings, looking around. I don't know if you can see in the yellow in the snow. You can see the yellow droppings in the snow, and you'll see where the bees have come out. They don't die in the hive. They'll come out in days like this and they'll fly away, and they just won't come back. What you see here, less activity. You see some dead bees. They kick them out in the winter. When things calm down a little bit, what I'll do is I'll take this board right here I'll take this board off, I'll reach in there with a stick, and I'll bring out the bees that have died on the bottoms of the colony. What you have here on the last one is a situation where that colony right there in November went queenless. And in November we had a very warm November, and what I did was I took the colony, there was 2 frames, it was a double deep, and I turned it into a single deep. And I took all the bees and the honey and put them in this single deep up on top here, and I put newspaper in so that they would mix and mingle slowly. And I went back to them again in early December, and they hadn't mingled yet, and so I've left them in this configuration. The trick now is this time of year, let them do what they want to do. So you've got 6 frames, you got 30 frames of bees in here, but what you have is 2 separate colonies that have now merged together. And hopefully with these extra stores, there was about 4 frames of honey in the top here, and that's going to be available for all. This was a strong colony, this was a very weak colony, only about 3 or 4 frames of bees. So I merged them together, and what you're looking at here is the mouse guards on there, and that guard is just to keep the bees from getting bothered by moles. There's nothing worse than having a mole or having a mouse living in the colony. It just keeps them stirred up. The bees live all winter long. They eat honey. I give them 60 pounds of honey, 70 pounds of honey. Let them overwinter on that. The real tough time comes a month from now, late February, when they're really the queen's starting to lay again. And what she'll do when she's laying again is start to build up a brood nest, and they'll start to eat more honey. They'll start to be a little bit more active, and I might have to put some sugar feed on top of the bees eventually come, late February into March. But the trick now, just to leave them alone, let them do their thing, and they're active. And as you can see, this is the most active one. What you can see here is they're just out buzzing around. That's actually a drone that I saw them just kick out. Why there's a drone left in there, I'm not sure. Drones are the male bees, and I don't see any more coming out. Don't see any more males. What we've got here a little bit is I think we've got some robbing going on. That's why there's so much activity here, is that this colony is being visited by some of the other girls. When they get out flying like this, there's no no natural forage for them, so they have a tendency sometimes to rob from each other. And what you've got is some dead bees that they've been kicking out down here at the bottom of the colony. So there's an update from Red Brook Farm in Scarborough, Maine. Here we are, mid-January 2010.